What happened to Visma-Lease bike? After a stunning 2023 campaign where the team won all 3 Grand Tours with 3 different riders, it looks as though they will be finishing 2024 with none. So how did it go so badly wrong this year? Number 1. Losing Primoz Roglic. Following the 2023 Vuelta a España, in which Roglic finished 3rd behind teammates Vingegaard and Kuss, Roglic decided to leave the team. This was at least in part due to the controversial final week in which Roglic appeared to attack and drop Sepp Kuss on the Angliru climb, before the team then decided that Roglic and Vingegaard must both support Kuss and help him to win the Vuelta. Roglic stated that he wanted the 3 teammates to race for the win. However, given the importance of Kuss as a mountain domestique for all 5 of Roglic and Vingegaard's Grand Tour victories, it seemed only fair they let him win the Vuelta. With Roglic clearly unsettled by this, and the fact that he was no longer the team's number 1 leader due to the emergence of Jonas Vingegaard, he decided to leave the team for Bora Hansgrohe. The move was understandable given Roglic's desire to win the Tour, as he would never have been the team's leader in the race as long as Jonas remained in the team. From Visma-Lease bike's perspective, this was of course a big loss for the team. However, you cannot force a rider to stay if they do not wish to be there. Also, the fact that Visma still had at the time the best Grand Tour rider in the world, Jonas Vingegaard, in the team, meant that all their victories would be lost. It should not change anything for the Tour de France, especially given Roglic did not even participate in the 2023 edition and Vingegaard still won. The loss of Primoz Roglic meant Visma were unable to send a leader to the Giro capable of winning, as Kuss and Jonas were both focused on the Tour, with the possibility of riding the Vuelta afterwards. Therefore, they were unable to defend the first Grand Tour of the year. Number 2. Pogačar explodes to the stratosphere. The 2022 and 2023 Tour de France both saw great battles between Vingegaard and Pogačar, and while 2023 showed glimpses of what was to come, overall both were won relatively comfortably by Vingegaard due to his superiority in the mountains. However, in 2024, Pogačar saw huge improvements in his climbing abilities, with Nijaka's Twitter calculations rendering Pogačar's performance on Plateau de Bay the greatest performance in the history of cycling. This saw Pogačar breeze to a 3rd Tour de France victory in Nice with over 6 minutes advantage on 2nd place Vingegaard, who was also at his best ever level. Pogačar produced this performance coming off an equally dominant win in the Giro in May, and therefore even if Roglic had still been with the team and able to ride the Giro, it's unlikely he would have been fighting for the win. In my opinion, a large part of Visma's lack of success can be attributed to Pogačar. The Tour is the biggest race in the world, and if you win it, nothing else matters. However, if you no longer have the best climber in the world, there isn't much else that you can do. Number 3. Basque Country crash. While it is true that Vingegaard was at his best ever level, that doesn't mean that his crash in the Basque Country didn't impact it. He spent 12 days in hospital, suffering a fractured collarbone and ribs, as well as a pulmonary contusion and a pneumothorax just 10 weeks before the Tour. Therefore, while it is unclear how close to Pogačar he would have been, it undoubtedly would have been a closer fight. In fact, there's been bad luck for Visma throughout the year, with Van Aert crashing out of Dwars-Vlaanderen, ruining his Classics campaign, while Van Baarle and Kruijswijk also suffered crashes, as well as Sepp Kuss suffering with COVID before the Tour. None of these riders, however, would have been the difference between winning the Giro and the Tour or not. Number 4. Other factors. There have been factors outside of the team's control. For example, Jonas Vingegaard's wife was due to give birth during the Vuelta a España, and so he did not start for the team, where he would have been the heavy favourite. Instead, Sepp Kuss is leading the team, but he's not at his level of 2023, and therefore he is struggling in GC. Van Aert is proving successful in stage hunting, however the team is still unable to replicate last year's success. With Jonas Vingegaard's season likely over now, the team will once again be looking to the Tour next year, in hope that a fully fit Vingegaard can challenge Pogačar. Thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed the video.